MeasuringHistory.com presents Getting to Know the Neptune-Pluto Wave Wheel. Well, a lot of you probably don't even know what a Neptune-Pluto wave is. It's an imaginary wave used to measure the span of history between Neptune-Pluto longitudinal conjunctions of 495 years. And what this tutorial will demonstrate is that each of these Neptune-Pluto waves has a unique signature that makes Neptune-Pluto waves a great tool for measuring history. And what you'll see, first of all, we'll have the current Neptune-Pluto wave, which began in 1893 and ends in 2384. Therefore, we call it 1893 Neptune-Pluto 2384. Not too hard to figure out. And then, so you'll see the crude circle, and that just shows the quadrature alignments of the Neptune-Pluto wave. Quadrature alignments allow us to look at any outer planet wave in the same proportion as we do for the moon or the seasons. And as you can see, that inner circle, the first circle there, represents the same thing as we see in this wave form. And then the wave basically measures, as you can see, there's indicators on all of the waves, so you can see that the quadrature alignments are an important part of the wave measurement. And what this tutorial demonstrates is that for the previous wave, 1399 Neptune-Pluto 2384, the quadrature alignments of Uranus-Neptune has a frequency of 172 years. Uranus-Pluto has a frequency of either 111 or 141 years. It varies because of Pluto's eccentricities. You'll see that the Uranus-Pluto and Uranus-Neptune waves, quadrature alignments during those waves, appear within 1 or 2 years of the quadrature alignments throughout the Neptune-Pluto wave, 1399 Neptune-Pluto 1892. That is not the case with the current wave. So this gives us an idea. Gives us a way of looking at history literally and comparing like periods of history. In other words, Neptune-Pluto periods of 495 years, give or take 2 or 3 years, comparing them side by side, and by the shape we can see that has different characteristics. And this plays out. Outer planet waves basically tell us or mirror history, and we'll see that as we examine all Neptune-Pluto waves. So this demo basically gives us an idea of how each Neptune-Pluto wave, even though it measures the same thing, is different, has different characteristics according to the higher frequency outer planet transits that occur during its period. And this makes sense in terms of history. I mean, every 500-year period is still going to be a 500-year period, but each one's going to be different according to its time, its place in history, its relative place to everything else. The other thing that we can see in this demonstration is that when we just look at all of the conjunctions of the 3 most outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, so in other words, we have 1 conjunction for Neptune and Pluto, then we have 3 conjunctions for Uranus-Neptune, and then 4 for Uranus-Pluto. So that's another generic characteristic of every Neptune-Pluto wave, that it has 4 Uranus-Pluto waves and then 3 Uranus-Neptune waves. So really, the other thing that we see from Neptune-Pluto waves is that we can break them down into even smaller pieces, and this helps us compare history side by side. And it also helps us look at history from more of a meta-history point of view. And that's one of the things here. Also, just the end, we'll just look at the sextiles and the trines to get at for the 1399 Neptune-Pluto 1892 wave, just to get an idea of where they fall. One thing with Neptune-Pluto waves, they all have a mirroring circumstance where you have 2 transits of 80 to 100 years each. So with the last wave, 1399 Neptune-Pluto 1892, we had a sextile, 60-degree relationship between Neptune and Pluto that lasted off and on between 1460 and 1540. And then the trine, which mirrored the sextile, occurred between 1704 and 1785. So this is another generic characteristic of every Neptune-Pluto wave, but of course the transit, it could be a square in certain Neptune-Pluto waves. They're going to mirror each other. that's another characteristic that we can point out that makes one Neptune-Pluto wave unique from another. There'll be a lot more about Neptune-Pluto. It's one of the central components of Measuring History, and so you want to check out the Measuring History channel on YouTube. Make sure you also like Measuring History on Facebook and make regular visits to the Waves blog at measuringhistory.com. And thanks for watching.